You are watching UB Stories. Like, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comment.
I know Chris Okafor's children. I know Chris Okafor's mother. I know Chris Okafor. From his church, to his house, to outside the country. I know him very well. In fact, I know a lot, a whole lot. And he would even be surprised to know the extent to what I know. I only chose to maintain my distance.
You're welcome, everybody. This is UB Story. My name is Benuru. How you doing? Happy New Year, everybody. So we are following the story of Doris Ogala versus the so-called Pastor Chris Okafor. And from all indication, it appears that this story is not going away very soon. Now, for those who don't know where we are right now, a woman came out and the video is already circulating on social media. She claimed to know Pastor Chris Okafor so close, like very, very close. She knew Pastor Chris Okafor allegedly to the point that she can actually went to his house and pick his children to celebrate their birthdays. This story is scary. This story is pathetic. I've been conflicted. I've been asking myself a lot of questions because this woman confirmed the story Pastor Chris Okafor's daughter, Precious Okafor, shared with very dark man. And if this what woman is saying is true, then we have a lot of questions for the authorities in Nigeria. In particular, I think I have a lot of questions for those who are operating child advocacy and female child rights organizations in Nigeria and in Lagos specifically. But first, I want you to listen to her story. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please feel free. This is UB and the Rufam. Here we don't judge. Remember to like, subscribe, and of course, don't be a stranger. Let me know your thoughts on this matter. I'm gonna play the video right now. Take a listen to what she has to say.
Keep quiet. Before I proceed, guys, something. I know Chris Okafor's children. I know Chris Okafor's mother. I know Chris Okafor. From his church, to his house, to outside the country. I know him very well. In fact, I know a lot, a whole lot. And he would even be surprised to know the extent to what I know. I only chose to maintain my distance and to keep quiet. Before I proceed, let me show you guys something. Those are from the surprise birthday party I had for Precious. Precious, the same girl that spoke to VDM. That day, I had driven from Lekki to Ojodu to go and pick them. And we had a nice time. They spent the whole day in my house and I took them back in the evening. But there was something striking, something uncanny. You know, while they were at my place, Chris kept calling. He gave me the impression that he was calling to check on his children, you know, out of love, out of care. But his voice gave him away. He was anxious. He was tense. He was nervous. After they stayed with me and I dropped them off, I did not wait to see him because it was getting late. But he kept calling. He called like 10 to 15 times. And you know what? He wanted to find out if any of the girls had told me anything. He kept pressurizing me that I should talk now. Did they say anything to you? I said, anything like what? He said, just about anything, maybe strange, maybe weird. Maybe, you know, these children, they can be mischievous, like someone trying to manufacture things. And I said, no, no one had told me anything. But in reality, children being children, a lot was said. I heard a lot, spoken and unspoken. I was quite observant. In fact, there was a time I stepped out of the house to go and pick one of Chris's calls because he kept calling, and one of the girls followed me. With seriousness, she asked, Auntie, are you one of my daddy's numerous girlfriends? And I said no. I had to explain to her that I was not, and I had no plans to be. And she became comfortable, and we spoke. We talked at length about so many things. She made me promise I was not going to discuss this with anybody. And I haven't till date. Days ago, I saw where Precious called out her dad. And I also watched a subsequent video where VDM mentioned that the lawyer had sent him some form of threat and demanding DNA and so on and so forth. To my shock and dismay, Chris Okafor did not directly respond to the girl's weighty allegations. Rather, him and his lawyer were talking about DNA. Whereas the office of a father and the office of a pastor have been inappropriately used, where we haven't seen high moral standards and we haven't seen the exhibition of holiness. I don't know if any of you read Chinua Achebe's Things Fall Apart, where Okonkwo, out of pride, because he did not want to be seen as a weakling, raised his hands and joined in the buying of Ikemefuna, a boy that called him father. You see, this shouldn't be about DNA. It's about the fact that a girl who called someone father has been traumatized, has gone through a lot. And in a society where people say, oh, you need to speak up, and someone has spoken up, and yet she's being judged, and yet the forces that be want to keep her silent. It's rather very unfortunate. In summary, in that book, Okonkwo wanted to prove his strength, but the consequences were enormous. Precious shared the fact that Chris Okafor took advantage of her mom and also shared her personal experiences with him. Should DNA be an issue? You see, youthfulness and vulnerability have been taken advantage of. There are probably many young girls out there who are going through so much trauma, neglect, rejection. And you know this thing about telling a girl, I'll marry you just to have your way? And unfortunately, most of them cannot come out to talk because they know what it is. Anybody that talks is like facing a mass mob. Chris Okafor, Precious calls you father. That girl is traumatized. She has gone through a lot and she's still going through a lot. And all you are concerned about is public ego and image. I'm not surprised anyway. After all, I've heard you discuss with someone on the phone. You people were talking about such a huge amount. I don't even want to mention it here. It was you who told me later, when you were trying to explain to me why you took so long on the phone, that he was your lawyer. And what were you people talking about? How he was going to get some IT people, techie people, to clean up your image on social media. Because there were a lot of stories. In fact, if somebody Googles your name right now, they will not see all those things that were there before on social media. They have almost all been erased. And believe me, most of them were quite messy. But that's not my concern right now. I'm just wondering that rather than choose character, you're choosing validation. And that's the kind of thing that make unbelievers see Christianity as a scam. Should it be so? Precious, please, if you see this video, try to get in touch with me. I really need to know that you're okay. That's the most important thing right now. Somehow, I think it's even good that Doris Ogala spoke out. Her initial presentation of coming out to cry and ask who Chris Okafor wanted to leave her for, and so on and so forth, may have been misinterpreted. But somehow, I think God allows such things sometimes so that his space can be sanitized. He's not man. He's not mocked. And for any other person, whether you're a pastor or you're just anybody, let me seize this opportunity to say, that thing that you're doing and you don't want people to know about it, that thing that you're doing that when it comes out in the open, it will make you embarrassed. It will make you ashamed. Stop doing it. I saw a video sometime where Chris Okafor was telling his church members to cover him, to defend him, even if he makes a mistake. Even if? Does he even know that love entails accountability? I also saw a video on social media where one of Chris Okafor's members was trying to defend him and said, yes, even if our pastor is not holy, we know. It's not like he lays hands to transfer anything that is not good to people. He uses people's hands and just holds them, and they would now be the ones laying hands on themselves. I was shocked. Somehow, somebody can be looking for liberation and get into bondage. I don't want to digress, but I listened to Doris, and a lot of things she said made sense to me. Chris Okafor, you're talking about DNA for 2 children. And I want to even ask, if nothing was between you and those women, will they be bringing children to you to say that you're their father? Why are we leaving substance to pursue shadows? Why? Should there be an excuse for gross misconduct with children? 14 years? 15 years? Honestly, you have to stop using threats in this matter. Most times, when someone is guilty in one, the person is guilty in all. Just try and make amends all round. All round amendment is recommended. This is not about one battle. It's about war. So many people are affected. So many destinies. So many people's mental health. This is not a cloud chasing move. Otherwise, I would have said a lot. But I'm only talking as I'm led. I don't want to join issues. I don't want to be the weapon fashioned against somebody's ministry. I also know that no matter what is being said or who is saying it, for as long as people idolize somebody, that person can never do wrong in their eyes.
Absolutely.
Never. They'll be ready to defend you with every breath they have.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sin is no more sin to so many people. That's why these days you hear, and so, is he the only one? Please don't judge, you are not God. And sometimes, when they see they cannot shut you up, and they cannot contest what you're saying, they will call you mad. They will say you've lost your senses. That they should go and check if something is wrong with you. I'm even going to seize this opportunity to appeal to everyone. We all need to be asking the Holy Spirit for discernment at every point in time for different issues. Discernment. Even when you want to start going to a church, even when you want to do certain things, people are getting initiated through so many means. Someone gives you money, you're excited, you don't even know what has been done with that money. You're buying water, calling it holy water. You're buying oil, calling it holy oil. But when you're using them, they are carrying you to where you don't know.
Yeah.
That's why so many people know what they are doing, but they don't know what is doing them. See, guys, if I have to talk again, I will. But for now, I think a word is enough for the wise.
All right. All right. You heard this lady's story, and I'm going to be honest with you. There are several questions that comes to mind when I listen to her story. One of the things I actually kind of concerned myself about is how long she had known about this unholy interaction between the so-called pastor and his daughter. And yet she did not speak up. But I quite understand what she said when she said Precious asked her not to divulge the information to anybody. So I understand, because that's what somebody like me might do also. You know, when people trust you with some information, you may have to keep it to yourself. And also in a place like Nigeria, where these guys, especially these so-called fake pastors, they now form what could be described more or less as a cartel. It's going to be difficult for this lady to actually advocate on behalf of the daughter. So I get it. But now, which is why I'm actually making this video, this matter has been ongoing now for almost 3 weeks, and I think Precious went to Very Dark Man. It's been like 2 weeks already. And after that, we've heard all kinds of stories about the atrocity allegedly committed by this guy. But my question is, the women advocacy, the Team I'm a Feminist, Voice of the Girl Child, Let's Protect Our Girls, all these so-called organizations all over the place in Nigeria and of course in Lagos State. What are they doing? Like, I am surprised that this same man is still holding services in his churches, or his church rather. And there are still multitude of people trooping in. I'm not surprised anyway, because in one of Doris Ogala's video, she alleged that there are 5 million maggots in bondage somewhere, which is a kind of indication that probably there are some element of voodoo, juju, or something going on. So, with this story, what are the women advocacy group doing? That's my question. Because we got to face the fact here. If this allegation was levied against a poor man in Nigeria, this alleged unholy interaction between a father and a daughter, if this had happened between the daughter of a poor man, I guess we will have seen all these female groups ranting and shouting, like they would literally make this case their case. You would have heard videos upon videos, you would have seen them moving up and down, making noise, calling on the police, IG, DPO, inspector, wherever, arrest him, jail him. Now, there are testimonies and there are witnesses, and the girl involved is now an adult. And yet, no female advocacy is taking this so-called pastor on. Like, I don't understand. See, let me tell you guys something, my fellow Nigerians. If we really want to combat all these evils in our society, if we are going to protect the female child, we should be ready to go against powerful and influential men. I'll be frank with you right now. Most of these atrocities are common among highly influential men. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying the poor men are not doing the same silly, stupid shit. But the point is, if we don't set an example with these so-called highly influential men, we are not ready. It's not every time we're going to use a poor man as an example or to use him to send a message to his kind. We also have to go after these highly connected, larger than life personalities. I saw a video of the so-called pastor where he said he's taking a break. Some people actually say, oh, he's going on vacation, he's stepping down. I think that's what a lot of people, that's how they describe it. I saw some video and some content creator actually claim, oh, he has stepped down for 1 month. I listened to that video, my people. Dude is not stepping down. He's just going on vacation. And tell you what, he's not even going on vacation. He's just going, he wanted to step out of the media, he don't want to be seen in the church, so he can now figure how to tackle all this problem he's facing right now. This guy has not apologized or neither addressed what he did to his daughter. He had not addressed any issue at all, and yet he's still on the pulpit. He's still doing shirakada boo. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna draw the curtain right here. Let me know what you think in the chat. Drop your thoughts in the comment. I'm gonna be right there. But don't forget, my major concern is, what are the main advocacy groups doing? What exactly are they doing? How are they fighting for Precious? Will this dude get away with all of this? And tomorrow, when a poor man is found out to be involved in this alleged evil, women are going to find their voices. Shout out to all my real fam, because the women over here at the real fam, they've tackled this issue. They address it adequately. So I want to give all my real fam sisters their credit. And when I say women are not taking this battle to the so-called pastor, I'm not saying women generally. I'm referring to women who occupy positions like the Minister of Women Affairs, the Commissioner of Women Affairs in Lagos, and all these so-called agencies. I know sometimes, especially in Lagos, people are so fast to say, oh, Lagos is fighting it. Oh, Lagos is advocating. Lagos has this organization. Okay, what happened now in the case of a well-connected pastor? So suddenly, those Lagos agencies, they are blind. They are not on the internet. They don't see what's going on. Anyway, let me know what you think in the chat. I'll see you guys in the next one. My name remains Benuril. Bye bye for now. Crazy, yo.
You are watching UB Stories. Like, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comment.